Good morning. Hey, this morning while I'm driving, I thought I'd make a little video really fast talking about the pros and cons of you listing your home for sale by owner, or as it's called, a FSBO. So there's probably maybe a dozen reasons that could be reasons why you wouldn't. There's one reason why you would, and that's because you want to maximize the dollars on your sale, and anyone can relate to that and understand the motivation there is really strong. And you're trying to make sense of, why would I list my house when the market's so strong? All you got to do is throw a for sale sign up at the front door, and qualified buyers are going to just knock the door down, and I'm going to have 25 offers, $100,000 over asking. Okay, that's the ultimate fantasy that everybody's dreaming about. Of course, that sounds great. Maybe you have that very desirable property that would be attractive to more people, but that's just one little teeny piece of it, and that's usually normally, like in a market down, that's like the easiest part of the transaction. So what I would want to open your eyes to, the realities of selling your own property, goes way beyond that. It's the stuff that most people don't know about, and will never know about, because we don't talk about it. It doesn't often come up because we don't want sellers to know about the craziness that happens behind closed doors, because we're always, part of what we do is we try to protect our clients from the stress and from all the other phone calls and negotiating that goes on. Like, I do that. I try to protect my sellers and my buyers from the other personality involved in the transaction. Okay, it's not about just getting the offers. It's what happens from there on. And that's where most of the complicated scenarios come into play when selling a home. I could give many examples. One just off the top of my head that happened to me this morning, very common. Dealing with an agent. We're well along. We're almost near closing on a transaction. And he calls me, the listing or the buyer's agent, and he says, oh, hey, Paul, hey, we're going to have to extend the closing, until another week or two. The lender just can't get an appraiser over there to get this thing done. We don't know what the problem is, okay? So I happen to know that this particular agent, I know he's new in real estate, and I said, hey, listen, Adam, if your lender is having a problem with the appraisal, getting an appraisal done, it's because you're not offering enough to the appraiser that they'll pick up the appraisal, okay? Basically what they're doing is blackballing you. Your lender is offering too little for the appraisal. That's your problem. You go back to your lender and tell them you need to raise the bid so that the appraisal company, they all want to do the appraisal, and we stay on schedule. You want to know why? Because we've got a full price cash backup offer that can close in 10 days with no contingencies. If I go to my seller and I tell them about this issue, they're going to say, great, we're terminating, we're going to go with the other offer. They want to anyways. Those are the kinds of scenarios that I have hundreds of transactions in dealing with these people, other agents and sellers, other buyers, and I know how to overcome those, situations. You would not know how to deal with that, okay? You just wouldn't, because you'd be, well, okay, I guess we're extending. And that's just the beginning. You're going to get into, what about the documents? The documents that you need to protect yourself in the transaction. Now, I know from many transactions dealing with people selling their own homes, I know as soon as I see, let's say my client sends me your house, you're selling, and it's for sale by owner. As soon as I see that for sale by owner, honestly, I'm going to try to discourage them from seeing it, because I got to call you. I know you don't have the documents, you don't have the disclosures, you don't have the addendums, you don't know how to communicate with us and the legal documents required. It puts me at more risk to deal with you. And so what am I going to do? I'm going to go and show them everything else except your house. And if there's no way I can get around it, then I'm going to call you. Are you working with an agent like me? Are you offering a commission? Well, we're only offering 2% instead of 2.5%. I'm like, okay, well then I'm not going to show your house. Why would I bring my buyer to your listing and I make less money showing your house, and I'm going to end up having to kind of represent you as well, because you don't know what you're doing. So to keep everybody from ending up in court, I'm going to have to coach you the entire way. I should be making more money when I'm dealing with a FSBO, not less money. That's a fact. Okay, so see it from my position, the agent. If you're selling it for sale by owner, you're only going to see a fraction of the potential buyers. Every real estate agent out there, if he's worth anything, he's going to have a large database full of potential buyers for your house. Okay, and I do, but it's because I have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars gathering those buyers, and I have those buyers in a drip system where they're getting my emails, they're getting my listings. I have paid people that call them, reach out, texting, emails, videos. We're always keeping those buyers in close. This goes on for years sometimes before somebody actually buys a house. Okay, so I'm just kind of like shooting off the hip here, because I could go on and on and on. And another reason why you would want to use a licensed broker in listing your house is the liabilities involved. The coaching and the advice that you're going to get to keep yourself from being sued. And trust me, this happens. Don't think for a second that people don't get sued. And it can be over things like checking the wrong box on your disclosure form. Okay, that's a real deal. That's a real thing. I've seen many other agents. They're good agents. They end up in lawsuits because they missed a detail. We have insurance that covers you and ourselves in case there's something that was unforeseen. Maybe there was something neglectful that was done in the transaction. If there's ever misrepresentation, if you get sued, you're covered there. Okay, so we're talking about peace of mind here. You know, like, why do you have car insurance? You have car insurance not because you're a terrible driver, but because other people are terrible drivers, and accidents happen. And that's what we do. That we're covered not because we're bad at what we do, but because other people can make mistakes and or can be just terrible people, and they're looking for a way to get something back from you after they paid too much for their house. This kind of stuff goes on, you know. So let's just say that you are very qualified to sell your house, and you've done it before, and you have that confidence. That's great. And there might even be tempted to say you should list it yourself, except for these reasons. Okay, you know, you might be well qualified, but what about the other agent involved in the transaction? And what about the buyer coming? You get into contract with a buyer, and let's just say you really don't have the experience that you think you do to qualify them, to interview the lenders, to know the questions to ask, to make sure that they actually do have the money to buy your home. You get into escrow and they order their inspection, and the next thing that comes is a list of 12 things that they require for you to do. And you have to handle this, you have to manage this conversation, the negotiating on all of these issues. Which ones are real, which ones aren't, which ones are deal breakers, which ones aren't. And then what about the subcontractors to do these repairs that are required by some state laws? You know, you say, well, we're not doing anything. We're so for sale by, no, it's, you know, as is. That's a nice thing to think. But in reality, the state of Oregon, where I'm at, will require you to do certain things that are health and safety related. What happens if you have mold in the house, in the attic, and the inspection, they missed the mold? Turns out that 3 years ago, when you had that fan replaced in the bathroom and it was venting into the attic, and you actually knew about the mold, but you just forgot about it, you know, and so you didn't mark it on the disclosure forms. Well, when the new owner gets in there and they start getting sick and they have doctor bills and they find out that that mold actually was known about, it's been there for years according to the inspection that they had done, and they come back to you with a lawsuit, okay? Those are the kinds of things that happen in real estate, and why you need a listing agent with hundreds of transactions of experience to keep you happy and sleeping really well at night. That's, I'm just going off of the cuff here. I don't have any, I'm not reading anything here. I'm not going off the list of reasons like you'll hear a lot of agents talk about, you know, well, the marketing we are going to do and all of that. That's a given. You know, we list it, it goes on 1,000 websites, and you know, that's valuable, but anybody can do that. You know, the real thing, the real reason why you have a listing agent is the negotiating and the protection that you get. The pushbacks that I give the buyers, when they push you to try to intimidate you and they try to bully you through the transaction, because now you're 3 days from closing, and if you don't give that $5,000 credit, they're gonna bail out, and you're gonna have to start all over again. And you already have the house packed up, and you already made an offer on another house. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This is why you hire somebody like myself. I've been negotiating contracts my entire life. I have negotiated millions of dollars, I should say hundreds of millions of dollars. Hundreds of millions of dollars in real estate. And before I was selling real estate, I was negotiating other contracts in the construction industry. So, you know, negotiating is a skill set that you learn and you hone. And, okay, you know, that should be enough. And the other thing that ends up happening is the money that you are going to lose in the transaction because of all of these reasons, and the stress and the worry that you're going to have if you list it by yourself, okay, compared to the additional money that I'm going to make you, yeah, because of my highly skilled lifetime of marketing experience and my database of thousands of buyers and my well-established social media accounts, you know, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, where I have thousands of followers that get my updated posts every single day, who are watching from my listings. Am I going to bring you top dollar on your listing? Yeah, I am. Absolutely, I am. I mean, I could show you my past sales, and I always get top dollar for my listings. There are no deals in Bend. That's the first thing I tell everybody. If you're looking for a deal, go to somewhere else, wherever that is. But in Bend, Oregon, in my area, Central Oregon, we will get top dollar because we roll out the highest quality professional marketing materials, videos, and technology to make sure that the largest group of buyers possible on the internet know about your listing. If just anybody could do that, then I would be completely washed up in real estate. You know, if anybody that could just throw their house up on Zillow and they can end up making top dollar and have a great experience, and I would be totally out of business and ruined. The fact of the matter is, the reason why people that know what they're doing list their homes with well-qualified brokers, it's because it's the smartest thing to do. It's the thing that brings the most success and earns you the most money in the end. All things considered, you'll make the most money using a well-qualified listing agent like myself. My name is Paul Frazier. Currently been in Bend over 25 years, and I'm with Knightsbridge International Real Estate, and I would love a chance to talk to you about listing your property and or helping you find another property in the area. Thanks for your time. Thanks for listening. My number is 541-797-9966. Again, that's 541-797-9966. And in the description of this video, you will find all my contact information where you can read hundreds of my reviews, see hundreds of my past sales, and get a feel for who I am by watching 100 of my YouTube videos over the past years. So thanks again for watching, and talk to you soon.